Hey, I'm Jessica with Electra, and today I'm going to share some of my favorite brand name tools. My cousin said, Jessica, I searched your entire website and I can't find what eyelash curler I'm supposed to use. And I'm like, oh, whoops. I do have a free download where you have a list of all the tools you would benefit from in your kit, but I don't have any brand names for a lot of reasons, and you can read about that on my blog, but I'm just going to share a few brands that are really fantastic when it comes to makeup tools. So speaking of eyelash curlers, my favorite is by Kevyn Aucoin. I love it because it opens up really, really large like this. It's in the $20 range. I think it's not extraordinarily expensive, but it's not, something from the drugstore. I say go ahead and splurge on this. Here's why. What makes an eyelash curler great is two things. Number one, it has to fit your eye shape, but also these pads right here. And these guys wear out relatively quickly. And if you wear makeup every day, this will probably wear out within a month. So spend the money on an eyelash curler, but then go to Amazon and you can buy these little replacement pads. They're just called eyelash curler replacement pads. And I think this was like $5 for a pack of 12. And then make sure you take these out whenever you clean it. Keep some alcohol pads on hand, clean everything off. You won't get eye infections and you won't snap off your eyelashes, which can sometimes happen. You'll know too, if there's a little ridge in here and you're not getting a good enough curl, it's time to replace. So grab a good eyelash curler, replace the pads, keep it clean, and the eyelash curler itself, the metal part, will last you years and years and years. Another kind of name brand brush that I love, and I think they have just good brushes in general. They're very straightforward, but it's NARS. These are good investment brushes. You see me use this one pretty much every tutorial. This is the 42. I like it because they're very soft. Some brushes can be kind of scratchy. These are really soft. They're pretty indestructible and they're great. But this one specifically is called the Ita brush. This is what I use when I do any sort of powder contour. I just really like the shape. It's fluffy, so it can blend. So I love the NARS Ita brush and just NARS brushes in general. For eyeshadow brushes, there's a couple that are sort of industry favorites. This MAC 217 was one of the first nice brushes I purchased, and I still have multiples in my kit. It's great for getting into the crease. You can have it, you can see how it's kind of a paddle this way and then it's thinner this way, so you can kind of go in around the eye socket in the thin direction and then flip it so it's thicker and then blend it out. But this also works beautifully with cream products, so you can use it for concealer, blending out maybe cream contour. If you have like a zit and you're doing pinpoint concealer, you can push this in and then either wipe it off or get a new brush and then do powder over top of it. So versatile, such a great brush. But you don't have to get that one specifically. There isn't one like it on the market. I have so many that are just as good, but they're not that brush. So if you're looking for something else that's a little more affordable, this is the Sigma E25 blending brush. It's practically the same shape. It's just the bristles are a little longer and therefore a little fluffier. Not that big of a deal unless you are really looking for a specific application. But this is a really great brush that I use again all the time. And I actually like this one more for cream products too, because it's not quite as fluffy. The thing with Sigma is you can get fantastic brushes at extremely affordable prices, and they're excellent brushes. So I think the F80 brush is kind of famous for foundation application. Sigma is just a great line, very affordable, and there are always discount codes. Bloggers, all kinds of folks have like, 15-20% discounts. So they're even more affordable. Highly recommend. If you do want to invest in some excellent makeup brushes, and this is important, you're willing to put in the time to take care of them, meaning you have to be very gentle when you shampoo them. You have to hang them upside down so you don't break down the glue inside of the brush. Wayne Goss brushes, in my opinion, are the best on the market. You can get brushes that are better than this, but they start getting into like hundreds of dollars. These are the nicest brushes that I think are still within a reasonable price range, and he has them broken down into sets. If you want, I have his eye set, or you can pick out brushes individually based on what you need. So I use these three today. I use this one for bronzer, this one for highlighter, this one for just a little powder in certain areas. But you can also use, like, this is his airbrush. You can use this for blush, highlighter, I mean, bronzer, powder, foundation, you can use it for anything. They're all very multi-purpose. So that's another reason they're kind of an investment, because you have to kind of know what you want to use it for, and you have to know the different ways you can manipulate them. So it's a little bit more of an advanced situation, but if you know what you want, or if you want to get one of his sets, these are phenomenal, but they can be overwhelming. Let me show you some of the eye brushes. This is kind of like that MAC 217 brush, that same shape. His brushes are so soft, and they do such good work for you. This is his brow brush. It's really great and stiff. I actually use it for pushing in eyeliner a lot. Speaking of eyeliner, y'all probably see me use these on every tutorial. They are the 8, and this pencil brush is the 5. They're just so good at pushing in eyeliner, smudging things out, doing really intricate detail work. And sometimes his brushes, because it's such a small line, they're sold out. But if you see any of his brushes and you love them, I would grab them, again, if you're willing to put in the time and you know how you want to use them. Let's talk about sponges real quick. This is I know everyone, you know, beauty blenders are fantastic, but depending upon how you're using the sponge, you might not need to spend that much money on a makeup sponge. And again, it's kind of like the Wayne Goss brushes. You have to really know what you're going to use it for. And you also have to be willing to take care of it. Otherwise, bacteria can get in it, and then it can get gross and smelly, and then you have to throw it away, and your investment is down the drain, literally. So I love these. These are the ELF or ELF Cosmetics. They're $7, these sponges. This is dry. You can use it dry for powder, or I like to wet it, and you can still use it with powder to blend your foundation cream products. I love it for concealer. I love it for just kind of pressing out this area throughout the day to blend everything together. Again, $7, awesome. As well as the Real Technique sponges. These are the minis, and again, I love how they get like kind of right in where you need them. They do get a little bit bigger once you wet them, but I just love the shape, because you have the flat end, you have the pointy end, you have the round end. This is awesome for blending in contour if you have the time to do that. So Real Techniques and ELF Cosmetics sponges, fantastic. I'll just show you. These are my personal brushes. These aren't even my these aren't even my kit brushes, and I just cleaned them. So this is all of them. You have to have the right tools for your makeup. That doesn't mean you have to have this many. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, this is good. This is the Real Technique setting brush. You can get these at the drugstore. You can get them from Amazon. Phenomenal for powder, for concealer, for contour, for highlight. So many things. Sometimes if I'm like running out the door and I'm not putting on a full face of foundation, I will like tap this in my concealer and just sort of buff it in. It's such an excellent brush. This is the one by Zoeva. It's their 142 concealer buffer brush. I love Zoeva for buffing in like concealer and just any sort of cream product. This is the 110, and Lisa Eldridge, who's a fantastic, phenomenal, legendary makeup artist, uses this one a lot. But these are these two little Zoeva brushes I use for blending out concealer. Okay, so literally everything else, it's kind of, you take the pick of what you want and what works for you. And I've collected these over years and years and years. I don't know how beneficial this was, because again, name brands are all very relative based off of what you want and what your budget is, but I hope that helped a little bit. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time.